What? Now there's an AI that can draw manga? I'm gonna lose my job. Hey everyone, this is Michael Chuah. Welcome to my first YouTube video, The Making of Comics. For those of you who don't know, Japan is now running this Tezuka 2020 AI project that can replicate the god of manga Osamu Tezuka art styles and create his new manga. Even though it's not perfect yet, it is a breakthrough that AI can learn to draw. Does this mean I can ask AI to help me draw? Generally, there's a widespread misconception that comics can be drawn by just one click in a computer. Drawing comics is the same as everything else. It requires hard work. Lots of hard work. In this episode, I'm gonna show you guys the process of drawing comics. Jom! The first step of making comics will be brainstorming ideas, story structures, and plot. This is the part that tortured comic artists the most and takes up a lot of time. Before you start writing your stories, please do some research. There is no original idea. Most stories are based on existing incident, facts, actual humans, then you input creativity. After you draft out the story, the next step will be thumbnail layout. As for how I do it, I normally use an A4 paper folded into 4 equal sections. Based on Malaysia comic book style, page 1 will always be on the right side. Page 2 and page 3 are split page and so on. Remember, the last page will always end at the left hand side. Fill in the comic panels. This part I will do another video about it later. And yes, this is important. You must draw out the locations of the characters' dialogue, so you won't miss out your speech bubble when you draw your comics. Step 1 and step 2 usually take me at least 4 to 5 days. So yeah, I wasn't kidding when I say story planning really takes up a lot of time. Okay, the hardest part is done. Now let's start on penciling. For US comics like Marvel and DC, they use A3 size drawing paper. For Japanese manga, they use B4 size paper. As for we Malaysians, we draw on A4 size paper. Notwithstanding paper size, it is recommended that you use paper with 100 grams thickness, which is thicker and less easily torn. I will first use pencil to sketch the character placement. Once everything is in place, I will fill in more details and clean the lines. When you have prepared the pencil line art page with clean line, inking it will be an easy job. Inking is like a repeat process of drawing what you have already done in pencil line art stage, but with inks. Some artists will skip the inking stage and direct color a digital copies of the pencil line, like what Malaysian talented comic artist Alan Quah did for his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cover art. He told me his original pencil artwork is already very clean. How does he do it? I hope I got a chance to invite him to my channel soon and tell us how he does it. I use Pentel brush pen to ink my comic page. Below is the link where you can order the very same brush pen. I try not to make mistakes when inking, keeping the page clean without a trace of correction pen. Inking is a boring process, but I always leave one favorite panels from the page to ink for last to motivate myself. I will scan the completed artwork in 1000 dpi in black and white mode. Afterward, I will touch up the line art so it looks cleaner. After the scan page is clear, the image size is converted to 450 dpi before I digital color it. When it comes to coloring, I'm using Adobe Photoshop to do the work. I will have 4 major layers. The topmost layer will be the line art, followed by the second layer for shadow and highlights. The third layer will be the flat colors for characters, while item and background will be on the fourth and bottommost layer. I try to keep the layer as minimum as possible so the file size isn't too heavy. Alright, these are the 6 steps for you to understand the overall comic making process. It takes me around 2 weeks to complete 16 pages if there's no interruption. If any of your friends ask you about the step of comic making, share this video to them and let them know. Leave your comment below and let me know your thoughts about what you wish to see in the next video. Till then, good day everyone.